Hi, this is Binny Freedman from Yeshivat Orayta speaking for Mizrahi's Parsha video with a thought on Parshat Vayeitzei. It's interesting. Yaakov and Rachel leave Lavan's house in a hurry. After 22 years of putting up with Lavan's deceit, the name Lavan, white, sort of deceitful, Yaakov realizes it's time to leave. There are actually two reasons Yaakov realizes it's time to leave. One, which is clear in the verses in the Psukim, is that Lavan doesn't look at him the same way anymore. He's jealous, he's worried, whatever those issues are. And second, because Yaakov goes down to the house of Lavan dreaming about angels and ladders. And now if you look carefully in the verses, he's dreaming about sheep. It's time to come home. So Yaakov leaves in a hurry, gets his wife's assent, and Rachel, just before leaving, runs to get something. What does she take? She takes her father's trafim, some form of idolatry related to divination, fortune-telling, whatever they may be. And clearly, it's rather strange that Rachel Tzaddiket takes these. But more interesting, when Lavan finally shows up a few days later, hunting for his trafim, Rachel realizes she's going to get caught as a thief. So where does she hide them? She puts them under the cushion of the camel and sits on it. And when Lavan comes into the tent, he's looking for them. He somehow understands that Rachel has them, but he can't find them. And when he tells Rachel to get up, or implies she should get up, she says, Derech Nashim Anochi, it's that time of the month I can't get up. This is Rachel's great plan. First of all, why does she take these idols? Why does the wife of Yaakov Avinu need idols? Second of all, if you're going to hide them and you've got 3 days to think about it, and you know Lavan's going to show up, you can't find a better place to hide them. You can't throw them in a ditch somewhere. You have to put them under the cushion. It's so strange. So some of the Farshim suggest, Rav Nevinsal talks about this in his Sichot, that what's really going on here is idolatry, astrology, these things have power because we give them power. Because we assume that they're important. If you sit on them, if you recognize that in a world run by God, they're meaningless, then they lose their meaning and they lose their power. How many different things in this world subscribe to that philosophy? How often do things become important because we give them importance? We rely on American technology and American weaponry because we assume that without America we can't survive. And don't get me wrong, I have tremendous gratitude to the United States of America, both because I grew up there and because of late Donald Trump has been one of the best presidents Israel has ever known. That being said, that doesn't mean that we depend on America. We depend on HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And it would behoove us to remember that. And Yaakov implies as much on his way down to the house of Lavan when he says, Im yeh Elohim imadi, if Hashem will be with me, and v'natan li lechem lachol, and gives me bread to eat, etc., then I will follow his footsteps and everything else. You're making deals with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. One way of understanding that is that Yaakov understands that only if Hashem is with me will anything work out. Anything and everything works because I know Hashem is with me. And even when things happen that I don't understand, Hashem is with me. That's the theme of this parsha, Vayeitzei, to get out from our limited understanding, step outside of the narrow spaces of perception, and live in a broader world run by no less than HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Food for thought on Parshat Vayeitzei. Shabbat Shalom.